so I saw that on the analytics component, the phases, and I'd imagine that you probably get benchmarks for different phases to identify those constraints, and I would imagine that getting those individuals the support they need, the training or even top grading, to get better talent. I mean, look, we're the owners, so you give them as
Yeah.
much resource you can to improve. So that's amazing that all that data is stored there. And one of the big ones is demands, right? It's getting those demands out, and I've heard some horror stories about when they're sent out.
Hmm.
And I wanted so you've got some new AI powered features, and one of them is the Demands AI. So I
Yeah.
really wanted to kind of dig into that. It says you have the ability to generate them in just 15 minutes. Obviously, you want to. Well, let's start there. Let's talk about the Demands AI.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know exactly which piece of advertising copy or what you're looking at. This is 15 minutes. That feels a little aggressive to me. I certainly think you could, if you had all of the records and bills in front of you, you have filled out all of the necessary fields in FileVine. You could absolutely produce a demand in 15 minutes. A complex demand could definitely take longer, but Demands AI is a phenomenal product. It is one of our fastest growing products. In fact, it might be our fastest growing product now. That and Project AI, which is a kind of Demands AI is a subset of Project AI. So a couple things about it. There are a lot of demand services out there. So there's, I won't name a bunch of names, but there's tons of services. A lot of them have gotten a lot of press. Some of them have gotten funding. These are basically third-party service providers where you say, hey, I'm going to upload all my medical records. I'm going to upload information about the case. I'm going to fill out a form. And somebody somewhere is going to work with AI, apparently. We don't actually know what they're doing, but is apparently going to work with AI and produce a demand in some number of days and return it back to you. That's a nice service, and if somebody wants to use that service, FileVine can accommodate that. But what I find far more compelling is, we're a software company, and so we build software, and so we think every time we kind of think through building a feature, our job is how can we empower the users at a firm to do this better? And so our demands tools, our AI tools, you don't have to ship anything off. You don't have to ask for some third-party drafter to do an AI-assisted build of this demand. You can draft the entire demand yourself with our AI tools. You can see the AI tools working. You can actually see them produce AI results and output right in FileVine in our AI Fields tool. And then when you go to the drafting portion of the demand workup in our FileVine document assembly tool, you can see how FileVine uses kind of multiple AI processes to take the extraction data and summarization data that has come from our AI Fields product and then have that spun up through a separate AI process in FileVine document assembly to produce really fast, beautiful demands that anybody can build. So whether it's a paralegal, a case manager, a relatively non-technical person can get in and utilize AI on their own without having to ship the demand off anywhere and produce a very high quality demand very quickly. I will tell you, this product has taken off like a rocket. It is really fun to see kind of what this does for law firms who, maybe have been using a service, maybe they've been trying to do all their demands in-house, but they are seeing significant efficiencies. And again, the cool thing here is you don't have to wonder how it's working. You're going to see all the outputs right inside of FileVine and right inside of FileVine document assembly. A couple cool things about that. Not only does it produce this demand that, of course, you can then send off to an insurance company, the benefit of having this done in platform instead of somewhere else is that all those AI outputs now reside permanently in your system for later reference, because at some point you actually want that data sitting back in your system of record. And so FileVine has that. So, the extraction of CPT codes, for instance, or the summarization of a deposition or a recorded statement, a medical chronology AI output. Any of these type outputs are really nice to be able to reference outside of the context of a demand. It's nice to have those sitting within your case management platform. And that'll happen automatically just as part of the demands process if you are a Demands.AI customer. It's really cool.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, and ultimately, all these have a significant impact on profit. I mean, that's really what your tool's doing,
Right.
right? It's identifying constraints and speeding up the ability to create demands. Recalling information, all these different things. And I know that there's some fear around AI. I think a lot of that has diminished and decreased as people become more educated about it. I also wanted to speak just briefly on the AI blocks.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure, but maybe you could speak to like how it utilizes prompts to help with legal research and maybe go into some detail there.
So the prompts are actually part of the flow that or excuse me, the blocks are actually part of the flow I just spoke about. So if you're a Demands.AI customer, you pick up basically all the AI we have to offer. You pick up our AI in our sidebar AI assistant tool, which is awesome. Gives you kind of answers quick questions about the case, offers follow-ups. Really nice little feature. It's actually like amazing. You pick up all these kind of AI features that are embedded throughout the tool, Leads AI, a bunch of different ones. But we take kind of the extraction, kind of the workhorse of the system in the AI Fields product, and then once it gets over to our document assembly tool, we have AI blocks, and those blocks basically say, okay, here we're going to insert kind of more customized prompts that will take the information sitting inside of FileVine in all the different fields and categories, and start building narratives around them, and start building a demand around them. So that's what AI blocks does. It does quite a bit more than that. It's probably worth like a full demonstration or full kind of product breakdown. But blocks, kind of consider it the second pass or the second AI review around our Demands AI feature.